Greetings! Today is March 10th, 2024, and my name is Shelby Steele. This slideshow explains local toxic inventory released by industries who are legally responsible for regulating their own toxic emissions for the environmental, health, and welfare. This is for an environmental toxicology class instructed by Ron Falco with the University of Phoenix, a great college. Over the course of a few days, I took notes and pieced together this PowerPoint presentation using websites and journal articles. With the resources provided, I was able to find information, and with my past experience making presentation assignments like this, I was able to put together this real-world analysis. First, I will give you the time and the region of the data collected, and then I will present the basic data, addressing the top 3 companies reported each with their own slide, summarizing it on another slide after that with an image of a bar graph acquired from the Environmental Protection Agency's Total Release Inventory Toxics Tracker, or TRI Tracker for short. I will then explain the relevant chemicals in the air, water, and land with information that I got from the Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry, or ATSDR, Toxicological Profiles website, and go on in the next 4 slides to talk about each of the top 4 chemicals and their concerns, including some suggestions related. After the conclusion slide, I will list my 6 references used. Let's get started. The picture you see here is an aerial view of the region in Iowa, United States, where this demographic information covers, ranging 50 miles from the center location of Fairfield, Iowa, in Jefferson County. The following data is an accumulation of reported emissions from the years 2020 to 2022. So the total number of facilities in this report was 23,985, and the total number of chemicals is 562. The top 3 contributing companies recorded here are in order: Climax Molybdenum Company, Tyson Fresh Meats Incorporated, Louisa County, and Cargill Corn Milling. Climax Molybdenum Company is a global leader in the production of molybdenum, a chemical element of atomic number 42. It is a brittle silver-gray metal, considered one of the most effective elements for increasing hardenability of iron and steel. It can be used in nuclear applications as well as missile and aircraft parts. It is even used as fertilizer for some plants, such as cauliflower, and found in most foods, such as milk, cheese, cereal, grains, legumes, nuts, leafy vegetables, and organ meats. Even in drinking water. Founded in 1916, Climax Molybdenum Company has primary and byproduct molybdenum mines throughout the world. The chemical contributions this company has made to the environment over the years 2020 through 2022 are primarily with ammonia, molybdenum trioxide, lead and lead compounds, and sulfuric acid. The recorded numbers combined for this company sets them at the top with 8,768,143 pounds of toxic emissions. Located in Columbus Junction, Iowa, Tyson Fresh Meats is an American commercial industrial plant that delivers both industry expertise as well as quality beef and pork. Their food products are sold in many grocery store chains throughout America. The company employs over 41,000 people. Coming in as the second highest toxic emissions contributor from 2020 to 2022, in the area, Tyson Fresh Meats is responsible for emissions primarily coming from ammonia, nitrate compounds, hydrogen sulfide, and peracetic acid, with a total of 4,542,561 pounds of toxic emissions released into the environment. This is a family-owned company in the agricultural industry based in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, providing food, ingredients, agricultural solutions, and industrial products, quote unquote, nourishing the world in a safe, responsible, and sustainable way, they say. Many agricultural farms in Iowa are a corn cash crop. Dry milling, production of corn has increased in the last decade due to increasing demand for corn flour to make fermented ethanol. Moreover, 90% of corn bioethanol is produced from dry milled corn. As the third leading chemical contributor in this presentation, we see that their total 2,537,582 pounds of emissions include ammonia, nitrate compounds, formaldehyde, hydrogen sulfide, N-hexane, acrolein, acetaldehyde, methanol, hydrochloric acid, cyclohexane, as well as others. After going over the main chemicals that the top 3 companies have released, we have a bar graph obtained from the Environmental Protection Agency showing the amounts of different chemicals tracked. So the names on the left column are facilities, and the numbers along the bottom row are the amounts of releases by pound. The right column denotes each chemical by its color, represented in this graph. The total amount of chemicals released into the air is 13,342,936 pounds, with the highest value of ammonia at 84.4% of the total. It accounts for 11,261,341 pounds, with N-hexane coming in at second at 412,571 pounds. The total amount of chemicals released into the water is 8,637,857 pounds, with the highest value of nitrate compounds at 99.1%. They are specified as water dissociable and weigh in at 8,562,979 pounds, with ammonia coming in at second at 30,892 pounds. The total amount of chemicals released onto the land is 123,578 pounds, with barium being the highest at 100,882 pounds. This makes up 81.6% of the total, with manganese coming in second at 17,785 pounds. So what exactly are these chemicals? Ammonia is used as a fertilizer mainly found in topsoil or water runoff. For the general population, the most likely source of exposure to elevated levels of ammonia is from the use of household cleaners that would contain the chemical, or by water or food ingestion. Ammonia is said to be necessary for maintaining pH balance, protein synthesis, as well as DNA and RNA metabolization. Effects of overexposure can range from neurological, ocular, dermal, or respiratory irritations. The injurious effects of exposure to high levels of ammonia can be irritative or corrosive. It can also dehydrate cells, which causes an inflammatory response. Animals are affected the same way. Since ammonia can cause problems by altering pH levels in mammals. A good prevention of these issues is to stay on top of the foundations for self-care, such as hydration and a healthy diet with minimal acidic foods. Try to stay away from synthetic chemicals and read ingredient labels before choosing items to purchase that you may use on a regular basis, such as your household cleaners. Ammonia oxidizing bacteria convert ammonia into nitrite. Nitrite oxidizing bacteria convert nitrite into nitrate in aerobic environments. It is a naturally occurring part of the nitrogen cycle. Humans are primarily exposed through food and water, the majority as leafy vegetables. Some negative effects of nitrate can be metabolic, cardiovascular, hematological, gastrointestinal, neurological, developmental, as well as endocrine or thyroid disrupting, and can result in elevated methemoglobin levels. Most human exposure to nitrate is through the diet, with vegetables as the major source. It may also be found in some meat, fish, and dairy products. Drinking water is another source, so we should always drink purified water as much as possible in order to prevent overexposure to nitrate. In the United States, an omnivorous diet estimates 103 milligrams per day of nitrate, while a vegetarian diet is about 3 times as much nitrate intake per day at 367 milligrams per day. If you only eat meat in your diet, you should get about 2.6 milligrams of nitrate per day. Moving on to barium. Barium is an alkaline earth metal used in medical X-ray contrast by injection into the bloodstream for the purpose of creating a more precise diagnostic image. It's also found in some electronics and paint. Under most circumstances, oral exposure is the predominant route, with dermal or inhalation being other possible ways. Solubility of the barium compound is an important factor when determining possible adverse effects, with the more soluble as the greater health concern because the soluble compounds in it, such as chloride, nitrate, or hydroxide, are toxic to humans. The predominant effect is hypokalemia, which can result in ventricular tachycardia, hypertension and/or hypotension, muscle weakness, and paralysis. Minor effects are nausea, vomiting, abdominal cramping, and diarrhea. When used medically, there should be no concerns of illness because the type they use is insoluble and therefore eliminated rather quickly. As with all chemicals, the frequency and length of exposure, as well as the dosage, are to be considered when determining potential outcomes. Since everyone has a different biochemistry, it is possible for an overexposure to barium to affect blood pressure or kidney function. Manganese is a naturally occurring element and an essential nutrient, comprising approximately 0.1% of the Earth's crust. It is the 12th most abundant element and the 5th most abundant metal. Manganese does not exist in nature as an elemental form, but is found mainly as oxides, carbonates, and silicates in over 100 minerals, with pyrolusite, manganese dioxide, as the most common naturally occurring form. As an essential nutrient, several enzyme systems have been reported to interact with or depend on manganese for their catalytic or regulatory functioning. As such, manganese is required for the formation of healthy cartilage and bones, the urea cycle, and wound healing. Although low doses are essential, high doses can result in adverse effects for the neurological or the respiratory systems. Manganese can be ingested orally or inhaled. Manganese in the atmosphere results from the air erosion of dust or soils, and it's released into waterways mainly through the erosion of rocks or soil, mining activity, industrial wastes, or leaching from landfills. To avoid breathing in this chemical, you should choose somewhere to live that has clean air quality and occupations away from this acute exposure, as these are the main ways humans can potentially get affected negatively. We are now on the 15th conclusion slide. In summary, we covered an analysis of the information relevant for taking into consideration when creating legislative measures to reduce industrial toxins that might have adverse impacts on the health of our environment, our ecosystem, and our population. Some ways to minimize impacts from the chemicals are to invest in proven wastewater treatment technologies, educate and/or remind companies producing hazardous waste how and where to properly dispose of it, and build connections and business alliances between these facilities. Promote awareness campaigns to the general public so they can take measures to protect themselves with minor lifestyle changes, such as wearing masks when cleaning. Here are the 6 references I used to put this presentation together. Thanks for watching.